So go straight to the examples. So I have f of x is equal to 2 x plus 4 over 1 minus x, and g of x is equal to 1 minus x over 3x. That.
Sir,
Hello.
aren't we starting with the last question that we were doing yesterday?
I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Okay, so here you want to find f of g of x, and then get the domain of f of g. That should be interesting to do. What about that complex number rectangle? It's moving. Okay, so to get f of g, we go in the function f.
Let me not be stingy with the marks, so I'll just give you a number.
So we go to f, where there is x, we put g. That is 2g plus 4 over 1 minus g. Like that. And then we know what g is. So now we put g wherever we have placed g. So g is 1 minus x over 3x. Okay. Plus 4. And then over 1 minus x over 3x. So that's g. So now we have fraction, and we need to work out this fraction. So we'll say 3x over, that is inside. So the 2 will be intact. When you divide 3x in itself, you get 1. Then multiply 1 by the numerator for 3x. So you get 1 minus x. And then plus 4, open brackets, you divide. So for there, I can put a 1 down. If somebody can't see that there's a 1 there, so you can put it, it's going to be comfortable. So you're dividing now 1 into 3x, so we get 3x, and then multiply it by the numerator for 1, which is 4, like that. And then divide by, again, we can place a 1 here. So we have 3x down. And then 1 into 3x, we get 3x times 1. We have 3x. And then minus 3x into itself, that's 1. And then we get 1 minus x. Like that. So now, this 3x and this 3x here can cancel. Why? Because if I have a over b divided by c over d, I can as well write it as a over b multiplied by b over c. So that these can cancel. So that's why the 3x and the 3x there can cancel. And then now we remain up there with 2, okay, 1 minus x plus 4x over 3x minus 1 plus x. So that we get 2 1 plus 11x over 3x plus x, that's 4x minus 1. So I can go back to the numerator there and expand the 2, or just leave it there. I think that's fine. That's the way to leave it. So that's f of g. So we have found f of g. Why we didn't multiply 4 by 3? Didn't we? We multiply. 4 by 3 is 12. Okay, so now that is f of g. The question is, what's the domain for f of g? What's the domain for f of g? So to find the domain for f of g, you go to your answer first. This one, the one we have found, and get its denominator, which is 4x minus 1. You equate it to 0 and solve for x. So we'll get that x is equal to 1 over 4. So if we allow x to be 1 over 4, the denominator is going to be 0. If the denominator is 0, then we'll have the whole function undefined. So we don't want the function undefined. So we'll say in the domain of f of g, okay, we want x to be any number. X can be any number, but x cannot be the number what? Cannot be the number 1 over 4. Because if x is allowed to be the number 1 over 4, then the function is undefined. So from the set of real numbers, we have removed 1 over 4. Now, what else do we need to check? Since we say here that f of g will have 2g plus 4 over 1 minus g, it means that g must be a known number. So if g is undefined at some number, then you have nothing to carry and take in f. So you need to have something that you are taking to f. That something must be defined. So how is it defined? We remove anything that makes g undefined. So g is our inner function. Our inner function must be defined, so you can take it well in f. So we get 3x, the denominator for g, and equate it to 0. Remember what we talked about with the denominator. It must always be non-zero. So x is 0. That's the only way 3x is equal to 0. So we come here and also remove that. So x is not equal to 0. So this is about domain. Any questions?
Hello. Oh, sir.
Yes.
Kindly repeat what you said on x is not equal to 0.
So if x
Where
is
did
allowed
it
to
come
be,
from?
so look at this. If x is 0, right? We're going to have 1 minus 0 here over 0, which is 1 over 0, which is undefined. So since 1 over 0 is undefined, you cannot take it here or put it here. Because then g will be undefined. You can't use it here. That's why we're protecting g. We want g to be defined so you can be able to carry it and take it to f. Here where it is sitting, it must be known what it's. Any other question?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wanted to ask about this same x not equal to 0. Like, since we already found the other part of saying x is not equal to 1/4. But why did you go ahead to find again why x is not equal to 0?
Because initially, for us to get where we got to 1 plus 11x over 4x minus 1, is because we used the g here. So even as we were using g here, we must have said it already that we can use g provided that x is not 0. So as we move to the final answer, this restriction is already there in the domain. Such that even if this was too clear that there's nothing to be removed, we would have still removed the x is equal to 0.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Mhm.
Is we always supposed to use the 3x is supposed to because it is an inside function or there's another reason.
Come again?
I'm saying the reason why we equated 3x to 0 is it because it was an inside function?
Yes. So you should always get the domain of the inside function. So the idea is we'll get the intersection. Now I don't use the term intersection. So I'll just tell you that you get the restriction for g for the inner function and the restriction for the final function. So that you don't see that hard. Like me, I can't get the intersection or something. So you get the restriction of the final answer and the restriction for the inner function. Okay. Okay, let me bring in another one.
Sir, before you bring in another one,
Hmm.
yes. So you can't expand that to that outside there. You can't distribute it inside the brackets.
We can, but even if we do, we don't change anything.
Okay.
Hmm. But even if we don't, still nothing. Okay. Another one is let's now find f of g index.
So on the domain there, why isn't it why is it not saying that the x was supposed to not be equals to -1/4, but you put not equals to 0? I'm a bit lost here.
So look, we have put x not equal to 1/4 from here, from this one. This denominator. Now this whole denominator came from the fact that g was taken in f. So whatever you take in another function, you also get its domain. The domain of the G which we took in F is X not equal to 0. That's what I'm putting here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So now we want to find F of G inverse. Which one there has the inverse? It's G. So it's the inverse of G that will take in F. So we'll take the inverse of G in F. So let's find G. So G of X is equal to, which one is our G? So G is 1 minus X over 3X. So 1 minus X over 3X. So here now, if the inverse was outside the brackets, it was going to be a different story. Would have gotten F of G and get the inverse of the whole F of G. So now we let Y be equal to 1 minus X over 3X. Then cross multiply, so we have 3X and 3XY is equal to 1 minus X. And we make X a subject. So we take the other X also. So that we have X, 3Y plus 1. And then we get X is 1 over 3Y plus 1. So G inverse of X is actually equal to 1 over 3X plus 1. Like that. So we now go to F and say, so what's F? F is 2x plus 4 over 1 minus x. So F of G inverse is equal to 2x plus 4 over 1 minus x. So again, where there is x, we put G inverse, which is 1 over 3x plus 1 plus 4 over 1 over 1 minus 1 over 3x plus 1. So we have the 2 here, and then 3x plus 1, and then 1 plus 4, 3x plus 1 over 3x plus 1, and then 3x plus 1 minus 1. So that again, this one and this one cancel. So the 1 and 1 will also cancel. So we remain with 2, 1 plus 12x plus 4 over 3x. So So that's 1 plus 4, that's 5. We'll get 5 plus 4x over 3x. So that's f of g inverse.
So
Of
here, what this second part? Why have you used G F G inverse f of G inverse, but we've gotten the function of f of x.
putting the function of
I don't know this function. Do we have this function, sir?
yeah. Look, we got this function f. This one.
Okay.
So
Okay,
in
yes,
here,
that's. I'm saying, why have you gotten the function of f, but in there, in the brackets, you've put f of G inverse.
so the question we are answering is find f of G inverse. The inverse of G, take it in f. So we got the inverse of G and we take it in f. In f where there is x, we take the inverse of G.
Oh, okay, sir.
Sir,
Hello.
on the inverse of g, 1 over 3x plus 1, can't we like get rid of the fraction cancelling up that one on top and the one in the denominator, then we just remain with 3x. Kind of math.
So how would the 3x be standing? So where math fails is that look, it cannot, because if we can do that, then we just have like, okay? There will be nothing on top. So it's kind of fraction. If they can have math.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, another question. I think now we are getting the concept. So we can move.
So can you just help me with the previous page? Okay, sir, thank you.
So now, solve f of G inverse of x is equal to 2. So solve that function equal to 2. So what does that mean? So we go back to f of G. Get it the way it is. This f of G inverse. We get it and equate it to 2. So we have 2, 5, plus 12x. Over 3x is equal to 2. So if we cross multiply, we will have 10 plus 24x is equal to 6x. And that means 18x is equal to minus 10. So divide by 18, divide by 18. So x is equal to divide by 2 there, you have minus 5 over 9. So you can easily do that. So you find G of F, find G of F inverse. You find the domain of G of F, find G of F inverse. Then you solve G of F is greater or equal to 3. I think that is solved.
So which question are you going to use for this?
The same F and G that we have.
What am I supposed to submit?
So we have F and G, right? So use F and G. This same one.
What am I supposed to submit?
Before you finish.
Is it possible for you to send the recording as soon as possible? I was logged out.
I'm going to do so. Many people are having challenges with this. I don't know what's happening. You know,
We should submit the work in the group.
what do you mean? Or in the group.
I'm saying when we do the exercise, we should submit it in the group.
Oh.
Oh.
The group,
Or maybe.
they'll fuck you, they'll laugh at you. You submit in inbox. Just submit it in a manner that I can easily follow. I don't know what is happening. Is it because it rained? So many people are complaining about network today. Random disconnection and disconnection in the zone. Okay. Let me do the recording on stage.
So sir, we're logging in after how many minutes?
10 minutes. In fact, you should do the work in that 10 minutes. Yeah. Thank you.
People are even logging out. I don't know. Huh? 20 what? 2050.